Hi everyone, today we'll be talking about mental wellness. But before we can talk about the state of wellness, we must first identify what are mental illness and disorders. According to psychiatry.org, mental illness are health conditions involving change in emotion, thinking, or behavior, and are associated with distress or problems functioning in work, school, social, or family activities. From the above definition, we can see how the pandemic has such an impact on our mental wellness as the ways we function and interact with our social lives, work, school, and families was all interrupted. We were and still is struggling to find new ways to function in these areas of our lives. Mental illness. Certain factors may increase one's risk of developing a mental illness. Generational factors, life stressors, trauma, financial problems, loss of loved ones, or assets. These can lead up to mental disorders such as anxiety, depression, eating disorders, addictive behaviors, and other mental disorders. Like any other illness, mental illness has its signs and symptoms too. These may include, but not limited to, feelings of hopelessness, inconsistency in one's thinking, decreased ability to focus, or overwhelming fears or worries, abrupt mood changes, isolation, not wanting to interact with family or friends, fatigue, low energy all the time, or insomnia, avoiding reality, decreased ability to cope with everyday challenges, overeating, overindulging in certain activities such as drinking alcohol, smoking, vaping, shopping, gambling, gossiping, etc. Lack of drive or motivation, suicidal thoughts. These are all signs and symptoms of mental illnesses. Mental wellness, on the other hand, is important because it affects your mind. It is with your mind that you make decisions. It is from the decisions that you make that you can change your situation and your circumstances. It is from the kind of decisions that you make that you are able to build your character and influence others. Your life is a sum total of the decisions you make. With that said, having a healthy mind facilitates a healthy mindset. It is with a healthy mindset that we are and can steward the gifts, talents, and resources and relationship God entrusts us with. Take the prodigal son. He had status, he had wealth, he had a relationship. However, he was missing out on opportunities in his father's kingdom because mentally he was not well. He settled for conditions that were beneath his privileges because he was not mentally well. Luke 15:17-18. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I'm dying with hunger? I will get up and go to my father, and will tell him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight." The prodigal son came to a place of mental awareness. It is important for one to become aware of the thoughts that frequently stream through his or her mind. It is from the consistency of these thoughts that we make decisions. It's from these thoughts that we conclude on a perspective. When he had the right perspective, he was able to get up and go back to his father and to enjoy the benefits that were set aside for him. Romans 8:6 says, "The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace." 1 Peter 1:13 says, "Therefore, with minds that are alert and fully sober, set your hope on the grace be brought to you when Jesus Christ is revealed at his coming." The prodigal son coming to himself was sobering for him. He was able to make better decisions. He had now set his hope on the grace that even the hired servants in his father's house had more than enough. God wants us to know that what He has in store for our future is more than enough. Stop settling for what the world has to offer and look again with your spiritual eyes, not on how it will be done, but who will do it. God is your who in this season. Take the burden off your own self in trying to figure out how and meditate upon the words in Isaiah 26, verse 3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose mind are steadfast because they trust in you. Trust in God to help us function and adapt in times of hopelessness, and what will keep us at peace and prevent us from being overtaken by the symptoms of mental illness. Trust in Him for strategies to cope with the challenges that affects our ability to function and thrive. Trust in God as your therapist, talking to Him about your concerns and worries. Again, cast your cares upon Him, for He cares for you.